Right. Good morning.
Morning, Adam.
Morning. How you doing?
Pretty good. How about yourself?
All right. Good. I appreciate you all's patience here. Just had some technical difficulties here this morning,
And I know that feeling.
so I'm good and ready to go if you all are.
Waiting on the female side to log on, and then we'll be good to go.
All right. I appreciate it. While you're doing that, you mind telling me, just confirming with me the folks who are out to bond right now?
All right. I'm gonna confirm with them. Go in order.
Yes, sir.
All right. How you doing?
How you doing today?
Good. Good.
I got David out on bond.
Who's that? I'm sorry.
David. Ebony David.
Okay. Yeah, I have him. Yeah. First person. Thank you. Yeah.
Eric.
What's the last name?
So you gonna hit every chair like that way. Like I say, everybody gonna slide that way and stand up. And then when they're done, you're gonna be in every chair.
I think I'm hearing somebody else here.
Everybody slide
Yes, Your
out.
Honor.
Every chair.
I think we're ready to get started here. All right, yeah, Deputy, go ahead. I got Carl Abney.
I also have Mr. Green.
Green.
Yes, sir.
Okay. All right.
I also have Mr. Johnson out on bond.
I got Calvin Johnson.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
It's Colin Johnson. I also have Log, Mr. Log out on bond.
Spell the last name. Oh, Logan.
Logan.
All right.
I also have Mr. Christian.
Christian. Okay, yeah, Ogletree. All right. I got
I
Ramos.
also have Taylor King.
Taylor
King, yes.
King. What about Luis Ramos?
Luis.
Ramos, last name. R.
Last name.
Yeah. I don't have. Is Mr. Ramos here?
I don't think it's a ring on here, sir.
No, Your Honor. He's out.
Okay. All right, that's everyone?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay. All right, thank you. Are you ready?
Stand up.
All right, hey, Ms. Toles, good morning.
Good morning, Judge Knight. Good morning.
All right, good morning. Hang on for me one moment here,
Sure.
everyone. Ms. Toles is here. She's our Spanish interpreter or translator here. Deputies, do we have anyone that needs a Spanish interpreter this morning?
Anyone?
No,
Good, Your Honor.
Just stay with that. I have one, Your Honor.
Just one, okay. On the female side?
Yes, sir.
All right. All right, Ms. Toles, if you raise your right hand for me. Well, solemnly swear affirms any statements or testimony you translate this morning from English, Spanish to English shall be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God.
I do, Your Honor.
All right, thank you. All right, deputies, we ready?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, good morning. Today is March 2nd, 2021. This is the Clayton County Magistrate Court. I'm Judge Knights presiding over the first appearance
Buenos días. Hoy es el 12 de marzo 2020. Yo soy el juez Stephen Knights, que preside aquí en la sala menor del Tribunal de Primera Instancia del Condado de Clayton.
Right, today we are going to tell you, or I'm going to tell you your charge or charges, your bond amount if you're entitled to a bond, and your next court date.
Hoy le voy a informar de la acusación que tiene o las acusaciones, la cantidad de la fianza y la fecha de la próxima cita ya programada para usted.
I will tell you if you're entitled to a bond, also the special conditions of your bond if you have any.
Y también les voy a informar si cumple requisitos para una fianza y las condiciones de esa fianza, si existen algunas.
All right, most importantly, I'm here to inform you of your rights that you have from today and throughout your proceeding, even after your case goes to state or superior court.
Lo que es más importante, estoy aquí para informarles de los derechos que tienen, hasta aún cuando el caso procede a la sala estatal o la sala superior.
All right, you have the right to the presumption of innocence, and that right stays with you throughout this entire case.
Ustedes tienen el derecho a la presunción de inocencia y ese derecho se queda con ustedes durante la duración entera del caso.
The state, which is the prosecutor, has the burden of proof to prove your case beyond a reasonable doubt.
El Estado, que es la Fiscalía, tiene la obligación de probar las acusaciones en su contra fuera de una duda razonable.
Some of you are charged with felonies, and for some felonies, you have the right for that charge or charges to be taken in front of the grand jury.
Algunos de ustedes se encuentran acusados de delitos graves y con los delitos graves a veces tienen derecho a que este caso se presenta ante un jurado de indagación.
Some of you that are also charged with felonies have the right to an accusation, which is a formal charging document that the state can bring against you. And all of you charged with misdemeanors also have the right to an accusation.
Algunos de ustedes con acusaciones mayores tienen derecho a que proceden contra usted con un documento inculpatorio, que es el documento formal que enumera las acusaciones en su contra. También los que solamente se encuentran acusados de delitos menores o infracciones tienen derecho a que proceden contra usted con una acusación general.
You have the right to have the state prove these charges against you, and you also have the right to present evidence if you wish to do so.
Tiene derecho a que el Estado pruebe esas acusaciones en su contra y también el derecho de presentar pruebas si así lo desea.
You have the right to a speedy and public trial.
Tiene derecho a un juicio sin demora y público.
Though we are in this COVID-19 pandemic and there are no jury trials, once the pandemic is over and it's safe to open the court, you have that right to the speedy and public trial.
Aunque ahora nos encontramos en la situación de la pandemia por la enfermedad COVID, una vez que se termine, y en este momento no estamos celebrando juicios, una vez que se termine la pandemia y la situación está segura para volver a abrir el tribunal, entonces los juicios procederán.
I will now talk a little bit about bonds.
Ahora voy a hablar un poco sobre la fianza.
Some of you will get a bond today while others of you will not.
Algunos de ustedes se le pondrá fianza hoy mismo, pero a otros no.
Please be aware that this is the magistrate court, and after magistrate court, if you're charged with a felony, your case will go to superior court. If you're charged with a misdemeanor, your case will ultimately go to state court.
Tomen en cuenta, por favor, que ahora se encuentran en la sala menor del Tribunal de Primera Instancia. Si se encuentra acusados de delitos graves, entonces su caso procederá a la sala superior. Y si tiene infracciones menores, entonces el caso procederá a la sala estatal.
Please be aware that as a magistrate court judge, there are some charges that I cannot give a bond on, and only a superior court judge can do so.
Sepa también que como juez de la sala menor del Tribunal de Primera Instancia hay algunas acusaciones por las cuales no puedo imponer fianza y solamente un juez de la sala superior les puede imponer fianza.
Also, given the nature of some charges, you will not be entitled to a bond, as well as if you are on probation or parole, you cannot get a bond.
Otra cosa adicional, dependiendo de la naturaleza de las acusaciones, eso afecta si recibe una fianza o no, y también si actualmente está cumpliendo una condena de libertad condicional.
Some of you will have special conditions on your bond, and those special conditions means you cannot contact a person or go to a place.
Algunos de ustedes tendrán fianzas, las cuales conllevan condiciones especiales que indican que no puede tener contacto con cierta persona en particular, ni puede ir a cierto lugar.
Please take the special conditions seriously, because if you violate it, that violation can lead to a new charge. For example, aggravated stalking, which is a felony that carries a penalty of 1 to 10 years in prison.
Por favor, tome en serio las condiciones de fianza, porque si las incumple, se le puede formular una acusación grave de agresión con agravante, de acecho con agravantes que lleva una pena de 1 a 10 años de prisión.
Please note that if a person that is the subject of the no contact provision wishes to post your bond, then that person cannot. So if, for example, a special condition is no contact with Mary Smith, and Mary Smith wishes to post your bond, that person cannot do so.
Si hay una persona en particular que está nombrada con la persona en la fianza, con la que no puede tener contacto, y esa persona, por ejemplo, la tal Mary Smith es la persona nombrada, como la persona con quien no puede tener contacto y ella quiere depositar la fianza por usted, a ella no se le va a permitir depositar esa fianza por usted.
Also, please keep in mind that there can be a fee or a charge amount for that the bonding company will charge, and it can be up to 15% of your bond.
También tenga presente que la compañía de fianza puede ponerle una tarifa. Esa tarifa puede ser hasta un 15% de lo que es la fianza total.
Also keep in mind, I do not work for any bonding company, so I don't know what the fee is. And I also do not work for the sheriff, so I do not know what bonding companies are available to you.
Y también tengan presente que como yo no trabajo para las compañías de fianza, no sé exactamente cuál sería la tarifa. Tampoco trabajo para la comisaría del sheriff, así que no sé cuáles son las compañías de fianzas aceptadas.
Once you're able to speak with the bonding company, they can give you the details of what their fee or amounts would be.
Y una vez que ha hablado con una de las compañías de fianza, ellos mismos le pueden informar de las tarifas correspondientes.
If there's someone wishing to post property as your for your bond, please note that the amount in the property should have an equity of up to 3 times the bond. So, for example, if the bond is $1,000, the equity in the property must be at least $3,000.
Para los que quieren poner como garantía de su fianza un inmueble, entonces ese inmueble tiene que contar con por lo menos 3 veces en patrimonio neto lo que es el valor de la fianza. Entonces, por ejemplo, si se le impone una fianza de $1,000, la propiedad o inmueble que pone de garantía tiene que contar con por lo menos 3,000 en patrimonio neto.
If you do not get a bond today, I will give you a bond hearing date, and that date is April 23rd.
Your Honor, I'm sorry, was it April 23rd?
Yes, April 23rd.
Ok. Si no se le pone la fianza hoy mismo, entonces le informaré de la fecha de la audiencia para determinar fianza que se señala para el día 23 de abril.
Also, your next court date is your probable cause or preliminary hearing date.
También la próxima audiencia programada para ustedes es la audiencia para determinar causa probable, o sea, la audiencia preliminar.
Probable cause is simply the reason that you were arrested. So the officer or officers will have to come to court and testify and give a valid reason for your arrest.
Causa probable básicamente se trata del motivo del arresto. Entonces los oficiales tendrían que presentarse al tribunal y dar testimonio y ofrecer su razón válida de por qué lo arrestaron.
Keep in mind that some of you can waive your probable cause or preliminary hearing date. And we can discuss that once you I individually speak with you if you wish to waive or not.
Sepan que algunos de ustedes podrían renunciar a tener la audiencia preliminar y hablaremos más sobre eso una vez que hable con ustedes individualmente.
Waiving your preliminary hearing date does not mean that you're saying you're guilty. It simply means that you do not wish to proceed with that hearing.
Renunciar a la audiencia preliminar no significa que está indicando culpabilidad, sino que solamente no quisiera tener la audiencia preliminar.
If you bond out of jail, your preliminary hearing is automatically waived.
Si sale en libertad bajo fianza, entonces la audiencia preliminar se renuncia automáticamente.
All right, and once I call you individually, I'll let you know what your charges are, what your bond amount is if you're entitled to a bond, your preliminary hearing date. And for those who are not entitled to a bond today, your bond hearing date.
Entonces, una vez que hable con ustedes individualmente, les voy a informar de las acusaciones, de la cantidad de la fianza, si reúne requisitos para una, la fecha de su audiencia preliminar y para a los que no puedo imponer fianza, la fecha de la audiencia para determinar fianza.
All right, so I'm ready to proceed. We will take, Deputy, we'll take the female who needs Ms. Tolles first. And then we can proceed with the rest of the females, if that's how you all want to
That's
proceed.
where I'll go. Yes, Your Honor.
Right?
You got something on the court?
Who is that person? Who needs Ms. Tolles so I can get her paperwork?
It is, what's your last name? S-T-S-T-R. S-A-S-T-R-E.
What's the first letter?
First letter is S.
S?
Yes, sir. But can we do Miss Cole Tiffany first? Cause she's kind of a medical
Sure,
situation, and I want to go ahead and get her out of the way.
sure. All right, Ms. Tolles, if you stand by here for me briefly.
Certainly, Your Honor.
Muhammad, you can have them sit down, Muhammad.
All right.
Okay.
Oh, you know what? Before we get started, deputies, if everyone could go ahead and raise their right hand for me.
Por favor, si todos pueden levantar la mano derecha, por favor.
Stand back up, raise your hand.
All right, each of you solemnly swear or affirm the statements or testimony you will give in this matter, first appearance matter not pending before the court shall be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God.
Yes, sir.
Juran y afirman solemnemente que toda la información que van a dar en esta audiencia con presencia inicial, será la verdad y toda la verdad ante Dios lo juran.
All right, thank you. You all can be seated. Thank you. you doing? Good morning.
Good morning.
What's your name?
Kai Mohammed.
What is your name?
Ali.
Judge, this is,
Tiffany Cole?
COE?
Yes, sir.
All right, she didn't complete one of the applications.
She did. She came in late.
I don't have it. That's why I'm asking. I don't have it. Ms. Cole, did you complete an application for court-appointed counsel?
Yeah, I should have.
It's right here, but she didn't
Oh, you
fill
still have it? Okay.
She didn't fill it out.
All right. Deputy, if you can make sure that that you return that to whomever gets the paperwork, or send it over to me because I need to sign off on it. Miss Cole,
Yeah.
you're charged with 1 count of criminal trespass.
Uh-huh.
There's a $2,500 bond, 1 count of aggravated assault, and 1 count of terroristic threats and acts. On each of those 2 felonies, the ag assault and the terroristic threats and acts, it's a $20,000 bond. On each of those, do you understand what you're charged with in the bond amounts?
I guess, if you say so.
Ma'am, you either understand or you don't. I need to make sure you understand.
Yeah, I understand, I guess.
All right.
I don't feel good.
it's a yes or no answer, man.
Listen to me, Miss Cole. Just hang in there with me for a few moments here. There's special conditions here. The first is you're not to have any contact with Lithimity Moore, and you're not to return to 934 Garden Walk Boulevard. If you have any items there, you need to make an appointment with the police or the sheriff so that you can go there within 10 days of your release to get those items. Do you understand that?
Oh, that's sad. She told me I was losing my mind, and I told her, and her,
All right, Ms. Cole, do you understand what I just mentioned to you?
yeah. I want this whore dead. I want this whore dead.
All right, Ms. Cole, hang on for me. Do you understand the special conditions I just outlined to you?
Yeah.
All right, so when at some point you'll have to sign off before you receive a copy of this, you have a preliminary hearing date is scheduled for the 19th of April at 8:30 a.m. All right, you understand that?
Yep.
All right, and are you employed?
Nope.
You have a job?
Nope.
All right. Do you have any source of income? Do you get money from anywhere?
I'm supposed to get a check on the 1st.
Do you get disability?
Yeah.
How much do you make? How much do you get? I'm sorry. How much do you get from disability?
Well, I don't know. If you call them, they should be able to tell you. I'll tell them to tell you how much.
All right. Well, I'll go ahead and appoint an attorney to represent you, Ms. Cole.
Donna Varno said I was scamming the government, but I told her, well, you don't know everybody's situation that got them there. So who are you to say that I'm scamming the government?
Judge, you done,
Well, Ms. Cole, we got you situated here, and good luck to you, ma'am.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, so Miss Lester, she coming up, John.
All right, who's coming up next?
One for the interpreter.
What's your name?
SASTRE.
SASTRE. Good morning.
Hola, señora, buenos días.
Good
morning.
¿Cómo estás?
Bien, gracias.
Very well, thank you.
All right, hang on for me here.
Permítame un momentico, señora.
All right, last name is Sastre?
¿Su apellido es Sastre?
Sí.
Yes.
Ms. Sastre, you're charged with 1 count of driving under the influence, and there's a $5,000 bond on that offense.
Muy bien, señora. Se le acusa del delito de manejar bajo los efectos y eso conlleva una fianza de $5,000.
You're also charged with one count of improper lane change
También una infracción de cambiarse de carril incorrectamente
and 3 counts of striking a fixed object.
y 3 infracciones de estrellar contra un objeto fijo.
On the failure to maintain lane or improper lane change is a $500 bond, and on the 3 counts of striking a fixed object, $1,500 each.
Entonces, la infracción de no mantenerse en el carril de tránsito o de cambiarse de carril incorrectamente tiene una fianza de $500 y cada una de las infracciones de estrellar contra un objeto fijo conlleva una fianza de $1,500.
Do you understand your charges and the bond amounts?
¿Entiende, señora, las infracciones y la cantidad de las fianzas? Yes.
All right, you have a preliminary hearing date in the schedule for the 20th of April.
Su audiencia preliminar ya está programada para el 20 de abril.
Ok, gracias.
Okay, thank you.
And I reviewed the application here for court-appointed counsel, and I will appoint an attorney to represent you.
Y ya repasé su solicitud para el abogado de oficio y sí le nombraré un abogado para representarle, señora. Thank you.
Do you have any questions?
¿Alguna pregunta, señora?
No voy a tener servicio comunitario ni nada de eso.
So I won't have community service or anything like that?
That will be for a different day if she decides to take a plea, but today that's not the day for that.
Eso se determinará después si usted elige declararse a las acusaciones, pero hoy no es la fecha para eso.
Ok, gracias.
Okay, thank you.
All right, thank you.
Gracias, señora.
All right, Ms. Toles, I think that's it for you.
Okay, Your Honor. You all
Thank
have a
you for your
great
patience.
afternoon. Thank you.
You too, and good to
Take
see you. Have a good day. All right, bye.
All right, Your Honor, so the next is gonna be Ms. Allen. Allen?
All right, good afternoon, Ms. Allen.
Good afternoon.
All right, charged with 1 count of criminal trespass, misdemeanor,
Yes, sir.
$2,500 bond. Do you understand what you're charged with in the bond amount?
Yes.
All right, and there's a special condition, stay away from Tyrone Deloach.
Okay. We live together, so how would I get my belongings?
All right, and you have to make an appointment. So that's the other thing. It's 7173 Bassett Drive. Is that the address?
Yes.
All right, so you will have to make an appointment with the sheriff or the Clayton County Police to escort you to that location in order to get any items from there.
Okay.
All right, and I'm looking at your application here for court-appointed counsel. And I see, okay, you're not employed at the moment?
I'm self-employed.
Self-employed. How much do you make each month?
About 5,000.
You said 5,000 each month?
Yes.
All right, so you will, you can either hire your own lawyer or represent yourself. So that will be, I will not appoint an attorney to represent you today.
That's okay.
All right, and you have a preliminary hearing date is scheduled for the 20th of April at 8:30.
Okay.
Well, if you bond out of jail, that's automatically waived.
Okay.
All right, you have any questions?
I don't. Thank you.
All right, thank you. Good luck to you.
Next is Ms. Armstrong.
All right, thank you. Hang on for me one moment here, Deputy.
Don't let the door.
All right, I'm ready here, Ms. Armstrong. Good morning to you.
Good morning.
Good afternoon. You're charged with one count of theft by conversion, the felony kind. It's a $5,000 bond, and one count of driving with no license. So 1,000. You understand the charges and the bond amounts?
So is both of them are together?
6,000.
So 6,000?
Yes, ma'am. You understand those?
Thank you.
All right. And you have a preliminary hearing date is scheduled for the 19th of April. It's at 8:30. And looking at your application here for court-appointed counsel, I will not appoint an attorney to represent you today, but you, of course, can hire an attorney once you're able to do so. All right. You have any questions?
No, Your Honor.
All right. Thank you. Good luck to you.
Next is Ms. Carter.
All right. Is this Ms. Carter? Give me one moment here. For me, one moment here, Ms. Carter. All right, charged with one count of loitering or prowling and one count of obstructing an officer. They're both misdemeanors with a $1,000 bond each, and one count of disorderly conduct, misdemeanor, $1,500. You understand the bond amounts and the charges today?
Not quite, frankly.
All right. So the warrant reads that on the 1st of March, 2021, at 5209 West Fayetteville Road, Officer J. House did observe you standing in front of 5209 West Fayetteville Road, offering no business, made contact, and you began walking away. The officer grabbed your arm and I'm sorry, what is your last name? Am I looking at the right person here? What is your last name?
Carter?
Carter?
Yes. Sir.
What's your first name?
Quintaris.
All right, Quintaris. All right, so I do have the right person here. The officer did begin pulling, or you began pulling away and yelling profane racial slurs and spitting. Once you were forced into the vehicle, you continued yelling and kicking the door. Do you remember anything happening on the 1st of March at West Fayetteville Road?
Yes, sir.
All right, so that's what the warrant reads, and those are the three charges: loitering, obstruction, and disorderly conduct. Do you understand the charges now and the bond amounts?
Yes, sir.
All right. So the preliminary hearing is scheduled for the 20th of April. If you bond out of jail before that date, then the preliminary hearing is automatically waived. I'm looking at your application for court-appointed counsel, and I did appoint an attorney to represent you. Or do you have any questions?
No.
All right, thank you.
If I don't bond out, my release date would be when, or do I have court on the 20th?
Yeah, it's not a release date, it's your preliminary hearing date. And that is probable cause, and that Officer House will be a witness for the state and will testify, and then there'll be a determination if those charges are in fact valid or not.
Yes, sir.
All right, thank you. Good luck to you.
Next is Ms. English.
All right.
Good morning.
All right, good morning or good afternoon, Ms. English. Hang on for me one moment here. Ms. English, you charged with one count of driving while license suspended. 1,500 is your bond there. One count of giving a false name, date of birth or address, 1,000. And one count of the violation of the Georgia Controlled Substances Act, felony. And that is a possession of morphine, Schedule 2, morphine sulfate, Schedule 2. It's a $7,000 bond on that offense. Do you understand the charges and the bond amounts?
Yes, sir.
All right, and you have a preliminary hearing date scheduled for the 19th of April at 8:30. And I am looking here at your application for court-appointed counsel. What is your monthly income?
About about 25.
Okay, so I'm putting that on your application here. And I will appoint an attorney to represent you. Do you have any questions?
No, sir.
All right, thank you. Good luck to you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Next is Ms. Gibson. No Gibson. Next is Ms. Holton.
Ms. Holton, all right. Ms. Holton, good afternoon, please. Hang on for me one moment here.
Oh,
Hey, Ms. Holton.
Yes, sir.
All right, Ms. Holton, you're charged with one count of criminal trespass. It's a misdemeanor. It's a $2,500 bond on that offense. And you have a special condition that you're not to return to the Hampton Inn in Morrow. Ma'am, you understand the charge and what your bond amount is and the special condition? All right. And you have a preliminary hearing date, and it's the 20th of April at 8:30. If you bond out, it automatically is waived. Also, I'm looking at your application for court-appointed counsel here, and I did appoint an attorney to represent you. You have any questions?
No.
All right, thank you. Good luck to you.
Thank you.
next is Ms. Long.
All right, Ms. Long, how you doing?
I'm good, how are you?
Okay. Charge of one count of possession of marijuana, the misdemeanor times 1,500 is your bond. One count of knowing or driving on a suspended registration, 500, and one count of no insurance, 1,000. Ms. Long, you understand the charges and the bond amounts?
Yes, yes, sir.
All right, and so you have a preliminary hearing date and it's scheduled for the 20th of April, and it's at 8:30. And I'm looking at your application here for court-appointed counsel. I did appoint an attorney to represent you. You have any questions?
No, sir.
Good luck to you.
Next is Ms. McFarland.
Ms. McFarland, all right. All right, Ms. McFarland, good afternoon.
Afternoon.
All right, charge of one count of possession of less than 1 ounce of marijuana, it's a misdemeanor, 1,500, and possession or use of a drug-related object, 500. You understand what you're charged with in the bond amount?
Yes, sir.
All right, and you have a preliminary hearing date of April 20th at 8:30. I'm looking at your application here for court-appointed counsel. I did appoint an attorney to represent you. All right, you have any questions?
No, sir.
All right, thank you. Good luck to you.
Next is Ms. P. Tommy.
All right, Ms. Pitomi, charged with one count of giving a false name, date of birth, or address. Misdemeanor is a $1,000 fine. One count of driving while license suspended is $1,500. I'm sorry, not fine, bond. $1,500 is your bond. And one count of driving or operating a vehicle with no current decal, and it's a $500 bond. Do you understand your charges and the bond amount on each of those three offenses?
Yes, sir.
All right, you have a preliminary hearing date scheduled for the 20th of April. It's at 8:30. And I'm looking here at your application for court-appointed counsel. All right, I did appoint an attorney to represent you. Do you have any questions?
No, sir.
All right, thank you. Good luck to you.
Thank you.
Next is Ms. Roman.
Hold on for me one moment here. What is your last name?
Roman.
Roman. Okay. Ms. Roman, charged with one count of improper lane change, improper passing, improper turn signal or no signal, seatbelt violation. Each of those four misdemeanors, there's a $500 bond, and you're also charged with driving without a license. It's a $1,000 bond on that offense. You understand what you're charged with and the bond amounts?
Yes, sir.
All right, you have a preliminary hearing date, and that is the 20th of April. It's at 8:30. All right, I'm looking here, getting your application for court-appointed counsel. And I am approving you for court-appointed attorney. You have any questions?
No, sir.
All right, thank you. Good luck to you.
Next is Ms. Long.
I'm sorry, what's the last name?
Sloan. Sloan. Sloan.
Sloan, Miss Sloan, okay. How you doing, Miss Sloan?
I'm fine.
Just a moment here. Miss Sloan, you charged with one count of criminal trespass misdemeanor. And it's a $2,500 bond. Do you understand what you're charged with in the bond amount?
Yes, sir.
All right. Special conditions, you're not to have contact, stay away absolutely directly, indirectly from Eileen Bell. And also you're not to return to 9105 Overlook Drive in Jonesboro. If you need to go there, you must make contact with the police or the sheriff to schedule an appointment within 10 days of your release to get any items that belong to you. You understand those special conditions?
Yes, sir.
All right. And I did review your application here for court-appointed counsel, and I am appointing an attorney to represent you. All right, ma'am, you have any questions?
No, sir.
Thank you. Good luck to you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
The last one is Ms. Wilson.
What's the last name?
Wilson.
Wilson.
Good morning, Your Honor. How you doing?
All right, hello, Ms. Wilson. Good afternoon. I'm good.
Good afternoon.
All right, I have here one count of criminal trespass. It's a misdemeanor.
Yes, sir.
And it's a $2,500 bond. You understand what you're charged with in the bond amount?
Yes, sir, I do.
All right, so there's a special condition here, or a few. You're not to have any contact. Is it Tamika Barber?
Yes, sir.
All right, no contact And also, you are not to return to 6001 Tramler Road, I believe it's apartment 119 in Morrow.
That's my address, Your Honor.
All right, where does Miss Barbara live?
To be honest with you, Your Honor, that's actually his mom. She don't even live like where my ex-boyfriend lives. So I don't even know how this
All right,
works.
so she doesn't live at the 6001 address.
That's my address.
All right, so I'm removing that special condition, but the special condition remains that you're not to have any contact with her. You understand that?
Yes, sir.
All right, so I do have a preliminary hearing date scheduled for the 20th of April. If you bond out of jail, that's automatically waived.
Okay.
And I'm looking at your application here for court-appointed counsel. Just hang on for me one moment.
Okay.
And I did appoint an attorney to represent you.
Okay.
All right, you have any questions?
No, sir.
All right, thank you. All right, good luck to you.
Thank you.
Okay, that's it for the females. If you could put Adriana Gibson on it for tomorrow. She's in some type of quarantine for medical, so she wasn't able to come today.
All right, you said Gibson?
Yes, sir.
All right,
Adriana.
for me 1 second here. Let me pull it here. What's the Gibson with a G?
Yes, sir. Gibson. First name Adriana.
Did she complete a, I don't see an application for court-appointed counsel. She didn't complete it? Is that what it is? Oh, you have it?
I have it here. We weren't able to bring her up because she's in some type of medical quarantine. So I was gonna see if you could put her on the list for tomorrow.
All right, how many of those you have hanging out with you?
Just two, the one from Miss Kyle that I'm about to fax you over, and Adriana Gibson.
Okay. Let me make sure I get Gibson pulled up. All right, so I'm ready for the mails. But yeah, appreciate that. Before you go, one more thing. Johnny, well, I'll ask on the other side, but Johnny, I have Johnny Gordon. Is that person bonded out?
Johnny Gordon.
Johnny Deshaun Gordon?
Yes, Your Honor, he's here.
He's here?
Yes, Your Honor.
For whatever reason, I don't have a bond order. Let me make sure here. Okay, so he's there. Okay. All right. You just make sure here. There's one other person I wanted to check on. We'll see that person, I guess, as they come along. So Adriana Gibson will be continued for tomorrow, medical reasons.
Yes, sir.
Okay, thank you.
All right.
Are you on? You ready for the mail section?
Yes, I'm ready.
All right, Mr. Adam, go ahead and step up right here.
Good morning.
How you doing, sir? Good morning to you.
How about you?
I'm doing pretty good. Let me just get my stack situated here. Are you Mr. Adam or Michael? What is your first name?
Michael Adams.
Okay, Michael Adams Jr.
Yes, sir.
How you doing today?
I'm all right.
All right. Well, I got one count of violation of the Georgia Controlled Substances Act. Felony kind is Schedule 1, and that is a $7,000 bond. Possession of a weapon during the commission of a crime, $5,000 is the bond there. Use or possession of a drug-related objects, $500. Knowingly driving on suspended registration, $1,500, and window tint violation, $500. So you understand, Mr. Adams, the bond amounts and the charges for each of those, the charges and the bond amounts for each of those.
Yes, sir.
All right. There's a preliminary hearing date, and that's scheduled for the 19th of April. It's at 8:30. And I'm looking here at your application for court-appointed counsel. And I did appoint an attorney to represent you. All right, you have any questions?
No, sir.
All right, thank you. Good luck to you.
Thanks.
Mr. Allen.
Hello.
How you doing, sir? What's your name?
Avery Silver Allen Jr.
All right, Mr. Allen. Junior, you have one count of theft by receiving stolen vehicle, felony kind, and one count of possession of cocaine, felony. Each of those, the bond amounts are $7,000 on each of those offenses. All right, sir, you understand what you're charged with and the bond amounts,
Correct.
right? And preliminary hearing date is scheduled for the 19th of April. Hang on for me one moment here. April 19th. All right, that's 8:30. All right, I'm looking at your application for court-appointed counsel, sir. You didn't really fill it out much here. Do you have a source of income? All right. I will appoint an attorney to represent you. Sir, did you serve in the military at all?
No, I didn't.
All right. You have any questions?
No.
All right, good luck to you, sir.
Thank you.
How you doing, Your Honor?
I'm doing good. How you doing?
I can't complain. Could be better.
Could be better. I definitely understand that, sir. You're Mr.
Austin.
Mr. Austin?
Yes, sir.
All right. Is it Shiloh?
Yes, sir.
Hang on for me 1 second. Mr. Austin, we have one count of battery, family violence, misdemeanor, 5,000 is the bond there. One count of possession of less than 1 ounce of marijuana is misdemeanor kind, 1,500. One count of cruelty to children in the 3rd degree is misdemeanor, 2,500. All right, sir, you understand the bond amounts and the charges associated with the bond?
Yes, sir.
All right. And you have a preliminary hearing date, sir, scheduled for the 20th of April. It's at 8:30. And I'm looking at your application here for court-appointed counsel. All right, I am appointing an attorney to represent you.
All right, I appreciate it.
All right, before you go, one more thing here. I didn't mention this to you. There are special conditions. Stay away from Aisha Green and Amir Austin. No contact directly, indirectly. Cannot return to 813 Garden Walk Drive in Clayton County. You must make an appointment. I'm sorry, Gardenwood Drive. You must make an appointment with the sheriff or the police in order to do so. And those special conditions remain in effect, sir, until this case is over or until your attorney can change that. So you understand those special conditions on your bond?
Yes, sir. I appreciate it.
All right, no problem. Thank you, sir. Good luck to you.
Mr. Derek?
All right. Are you Mr. Berry?
Yes, sir.
Mr. Berry, how you doing today?
All right, sir.
You have 2 counts of simple assault, family violence. They're both misdemeanors. Each of those offenses, there's a $2,500 bond.
Mm-hmm.
Understand what you're charged with the bond amounts?
So it's 25 a piece of 5,000 in all?
5,000 total, yes, sir.
Uh-huh.
All right, and special conditions, no contact with Glendia Barber, cannot return to 241 Wood Duck Drive in Jonesboro. If you must return, you must make an appointment with the sheriff or the police to do so. So you understand what you're charged with in the special conditions on your bond?
Yes, sir.
All right, and you have a preliminary hearing date is scheduled for the 20th of April at 8:30. Have any questions?
I have one question. Do I have any holes on me from any other counties?
Sir, I don't know.
All right.
The sheriffs may be able to tell you. I'm not sure, sir.
All right.
All right. All right. Thank you. Good luck to you.
How you doing, sir?
How you doing? Good morning to you. Oh, good afternoon. How's it going with you?
Could be better.
Could be better. All right, Mr. Bibbs, I definitely understand that. That's you, Travis Bibbs?
Yes, sir.
Bibbs, I mean,
Bibbs, yes, sir.
Bibbs, all right. All right, sir, one count of failure to obey, traffic control device, 500 is your bond. Misdemeanor, possession of marijuana, 1,500. Possession of a drug-related object, 500. And possession of a firearm during the commission of a crime, that's a felony, and that is 5,000. Sir, you understand the charges and the bond amounts?
Could you repeat this so I can write it down, sir?
500, 1,500, 500, and 5,000.
So 2 500s and a 1,500, right?
That's correct.
Yes, I understand.
All right, sir, you have a preliminary hearing date is scheduled for the 19th of April at 8:30. And I reviewed the application for court-appointed counsel. I'm appointing an attorney to represent you. All right, you have any questions?
At the moment.
Thank you, sir. Good luck to you.
All right.
Should be in order.
All right, sir. Are you Gerard Brown? Who are you?
Sir. Gerard Brown.
All right, one moment here. Deputy, quick question for you.
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, is Eric Bridges bonded out?
Yeah.
Yes, he did, Your Honor.
Okay, Eric Bridges is out.
Yes.
All right, Mr. Brown.
Yes, sir.
Thanks for your patience there. All right, so you have one count of possession of marijuana, less than an ounce, misdemeanor kind, and 1,500 is your bond. All right, you understand what you're charged with in the bond amount?
Yes, sir.
All right, it's a prelim date of the 20th of April. It's at 8:30. If you bond out, it's automatically waived. And I reviewed the application for court-appointed counsel, and I'm appointing an attorney to represent you, sir.
Okay.
All right, you have any questions?
Yes, I do. I had a VOP from November. It's over. I wanted to know, because you didn't mention it. Is that finished?
The only thing I'm aware of that you're here for today, sir, is the misdemeanor marijuana.
Okay.
That's all I have in front of me. The VOP, we're not here for that today, and maybe a probation officer will let you know, or the jail will let you know when it's time to bond out.
I don't have a probation officer. The probation was a traffic ticket that ended last November.
It's ended.
Yeah, so it's over. So I'm just making sure, because they told me that it was a VOP, a violation of probation, though it's ended. I just want to be sure.
Well, sir, you know I don't. You were there in November. If it's ended, then it's ended.
Okay.
But the only thing I have today is the marijuana. All right, the less than an ounce.
All right, then. Thank you, man.
All right, no problem.
All right.
All right, Mr. Conner.
All right, are you Miss Quintaris Carter? Mr. Quintaris Carter? Who are you, sir?
Brian Connor.
Yeah, Your Honor, that was a female that should have went.
Okay. I see you now. Okay. All right, Mr. Connor.
Yes, sir.
All right, sir. Apologize on that mix-up there. You have one count of simple batteries, a $3,500 bond, one count of criminal trespass, 1,500 is the bond, and one count of obstructing or hindering an emergency telephone call, 1,000 is the bond there. Sir, you understand the bond amounts and the charges?
Yes, sir.
All right. You have special conditions. One is that you stay away from Veria, Calhoun, and then you're not to return to 5667 Rhine River Drive. And If you must return there, sir, you must make an appointment with the sheriff or the police. You understand those special conditions, sir?
Yes.
All right, you have a preliminary hearing date and it's scheduled for 20th of April at 8:30. Sir, you have this application here that you completed, court-appointed counsel, and I am appointing an attorney to represent you. All right, you have any questions?
No, sir.
All right, thank you. Good luck to you, sir.
All right, sir. How you doing, sir?
I'm doing good. How you doing?
It'll be better.
I definitely understand.
My name John, last name Clark.
Hey, John
Mm-hmm.
Lopton. Sir, you have a charge of 1 count of criminal damage in the 2nd degree. The $2,500 bond. It's a felony. $2,500 is the bond on that charge, sir. You understand?
No, sir, I don't.
John Willie Clopton IV.
Yes.
All right. March 1st, 2021, Officer Fleming encountered you at 2722 Star Road in Morrow, Georgia. The offender, that's you, and the victim, Makita Williams, were involved in an argument which turned into the offender intentionally damaging the victim's vehicle without the victim's consent. The offender broke side mirrors of the 2014 Nissan Pathfinder by using his hands to hit the mirrors off, causing slight injury to the offender. Under Miranda warning, which the offender waived, the offender admitted to officers that he intentionally damaged the victim's vehicle because he was mad at the victim over an argument regarding bills of the residence that they both share, located at 100 Sandalwood Drive in Morrow, Clayton County, Georgia, with their 7 children. The value of the damage is over $500. The offender was taken into custody in Clayton County, Georgia. Sir, you understand what the charge is now?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
All right.
So you say my bond is how much, sir?
$2,500.
Okay.
No contact with Makita Williams. Do not return to 100 Sandalwood Drive in Morrow unless you're accompanied by the police or the sheriff. You understand that, sir?
Yes, sir.
All right. And you have a preliminary hearing date. It's the 20th of April at 8:30.
Okay.
And I'm looking at the application for court-appointed counsel, sir. I'm appointing an attorney to represent you.
Okay, thank you, sir.
All right, thank you.
How you doing, sir?
Hey, how you doing?
I'm good.
All right. What's your name?
Jadavian Danzy, sir.
Mr. Danzy, hang on for me. Just hang on for me here, Mr. Danzy. Deputy.
Yes, Your Honor.
Quick question here for you here. This is just making sure. Mr. Danzy, is this Mr. Danzy, just want to make sure, is this misdemeanor? Disorderly you're Jadavian Danzy?
Yes, sir. And
okay.
I admit to the charges, sir.
All right, sir, hang on for me here, sir. You don't have to admit to those charges to me here today, sir. You're charged with 1 count of disorderly conduct. And it's a misdemeanor. There's a $1,500 bond. All right, you understand what you're charged with in the bond amount?
Yes, sir, but I couldn't make $1,500, but I just started working, so.
All right, sir. Well, you have a preliminary hearing date. It's scheduled for the 20th of April. If you bond out, then it's automatically waived. And I just appointed an attorney to represent you. You can speak with the attorney about your charge. All right. You have any questions?
Yes, sir. So if I had to pay 15%, how much would that be?
You tell me.
Okay. Yes, sir. Thank you. I appreciate it.
All right. Thank you.
How you doing, Your Honor?
How you doing, sir? Is this Mr. Ellis?
Yes, sir.
All right, Mr. Ellis. You're charged with one count of aggravated assault with a deadly weapon and one count of terroristic threats. Both of those are felonies. Sir, your bond is denied today on those two offenses. On the cruelty to children, it's a $2,500 bond, and battery, it's a $5,000 bond, and the criminal damage to property is $3,500. So, sir, you have bond on 3 of those offenses, and the bond is denied on the 2 others. You understand what's happening with bond, sir?
Oh, yes, sir, I do.
All right. You have a preliminary hearing date, and that is the 19th of April. It's at 8:30. And then you have a bond hearing date of the 23rd of April at 8:30. And sir, I reviewed the application for court-appointed counsel. I'm appointing an attorney to represent you. Sir, once you speak with the attorney, that attorney may have some answers for you in terms of getting a bond. But for now, those will be your dates. All right, sir, you have any questions?
Yes, sir. I don't need an attorney. I had hired, before I turned myself in, I had hired Mr. Hicks, Mr. Leon Hicks. And also, if I was to waive the preliminary hearing, would that bring that bond hearing closer?
No, sir, that's the date for the bond hearing. You can speak with Mr. Hicks, and he may be able to do something different on the bond. But as of today, that's the date that we have.
And what date is that, sir?
The 23rd of April.
23rd. Thank you, sir.
Okay. All right. Thank you. Good luck. Good luck to you, Mr. Ellis.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And Mr. Fields?
How you doing, sir? Justin Fields?
How you doing? Justin Fields. Good. Hang on for me. Let me just make a note here on Mr. Ellis's paperwork here. All right. Thank you there for your patience, Mr. Fields. All right, sir. You're charged with one count of criminal damage to property. It's a $2,500 bond on that. One count of obstructing or hindering an emergency phone call. So $1,000 bond. So you're also charged with burglary and robbery, and there's no bond today on each of those offenses. So you understand what you're charged with in the position on bond today.
Yes, sir.
All right, hang on for me one moment here.
Well, I do have a question.
Hang on for me, sir. Let me tell you the rest, and then we'll open it up for questions here. You have a preliminary hearing date, and I scheduled for the 19th of April, and it's at 8:30. And then you have a bond hearing date of the 23rd of April, and that's at 8:30. All right. And I'm looking at your application here for court-appointed counsel, so I'm writing those dates on here. And I am appointing an attorney to represent you. All right, sir. So go ahead with your questions for me.
Now, as far as the burglary and robberies, she received her phone back. So I don't understand why is that still in the system.
All right, sir. Well, you can speak with your court-appointed counsel. Those are the charges I have in front of me, and your attorney may be able to deal with that issue.
All right.
All right. All right. Good luck to you, sir.
How you doing, sir? Mr.
How you
Glaze?
doing? All right, hang on for me one moment here. Mr. Glaze?
Yes, sir.
All right. Mr. Glaze, you're charged with one count of battery family violence. That is a misdemeanor, and there is a $5,000 bond on that offense. Sir, you understand what you're charged with in the position on bond?
Sir.
All right, and special conditions here. You're to stay away from Decoria Parker. You're not to return to 100 Spring Lake Drive in Jonesboro unless you are accompanied by the police or the sheriff.
Yes, sir.
All right, sir. You understand those special conditions?
Yes, sir.
All right. And you have a preliminary hearing date, and that's the 20th of April. And that's at 8:30. And I'm looking at your application here for court-appointed counsel. I am appointing an attorney to represent you, sir. Do you have any questions?
No, sir.
All right, good luck to you, sir. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
How you doing? My name is Johnny Gordon.
How you doing, Mr. Gordon?
I'm all right.
All right. All right, sir. You're charged with 1 count. Possession of marijuana is the misdemeanor kind. 1,500 is your bond. You're also charged with violation of a family violence order, and is a $5,000 bond on that offense. So you understand what you're charged with in the position on bond?
Yes, sir.
All right. You have a preliminary hearing date is the 20th of April, and it's at 8:30. I'm looking here at your application for court-appointed counsel, sir, that you completed. I did appoint an attorney to represent you. All right. You have any questions?
No, sir.
Okay. Good luck to you, sir. Thank you.
Yes, sir. Appreciate it.
Good afternoon, Your Honor.
All right. Good afternoon. Is this Damon Hardwick?
Yes, sir.
All right, sir. You're charged with 1 count of terroristic threats and acts. So $10,000 bond on that offense, sir. You understand what you're charged with in the bond amount?
Yes, sir.
All right. And special condition, no contact with Kayla Hardwick, and not to return to 9409 Highland Ridge in Jonesboro. You understand those special conditions, sir?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right. If you must return, you must make an appointment with the sheriff or the police. All right, sir. I did appoint an attorney to represent you based on your court application there for court-appointed counsel. And you have any questions?
No.
Thank you. Good luck to you.
Thank you. All right, next. Good afternoon, Judge.
Good afternoon, sir. Is this Kevin Jackson?
Calvin Johnson.
Okay, hang on for me. What's your name?
Calvin Johnson, like football player.
Okay. All right, Mr. Johnson. Hang on for me 1 moment.
Yes, sir.
All right, sir. You're charged with 1 count of tinted window violation. Misdemeanors, 500 is your bond. Possession of marijuana less than less than 1 ounce, the misdemeanor kind, it's 1,500 bond. Violation of the Georgia Controlled Substances Act, possession of MDMA is felony, 7,000. Possession of a firearm during the commission of a crime is felony, 7,000. So 7,000 on those 2 felonies, 1,500 on the marijuana, 500 on the tinted window. All right, sir, you understand what you're charged with here, Mr. Johnson?
Yes, sir.
All right, you have a prelim date and it's scheduled for the 19th of April, and it's at 8:30. I'm looking at your application here for court-appointed counsel. I'm appointing an attorney to represent you, sir. All right, you have any questions?
No, sir.
All right, Mr. Johnson, good luck to you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Good afternoon, Your Honor.
All right, good afternoon. What's your name?
Frank Little.
All right, Mr. Little, 1 second here for me. Deputy, is Kevin Jackson available?
Kevin Jackson is available, Your Honor. We got him from another location, a medical location, and we got
he's in medical. I just want to make sure I wasn't missing somebody. Okay.
You know, we was trying to save him for last, him and another gentleman. Yes, sir.
Okay, yeah, I just want to make sure because I'm going through the calendar. I just want to make sure I'm not missing anybody.
Yes, sir, Your Honor.
All right, Kevin Jackson will be last. All right, so now we have
Frank Little, sir.
Frank Little.
Yes.
So let me ask the deputy again. Johnson, Khalid Johnson, we already did.
I did. He called. Yes, Your Honor.
Khalid Johnson, is that person there?
Khalid Johnson.
No?
No, Your Honor.
All right, so that person bonded out. All right. Okay. And Calvin Johnson, we just did. I'm just gonna make sure my calendar is up, is accurate here, okay? So thanks for your patience there, Mr. Little.
Yes, sir.
You're charged with 1 count of entering a dwelling without the authority of another. That's burglary. Your bond is no bond today on that offense, sir.
Could I ask a question about that, Your Honor?
Hang on for me, sir. Hang on for me. You get a chance to ask your questions. He also charged with stalking. Misdemeanor is 3,500. You understand the charges, sir, and the position on bond?
No, sir.
All right.
The burglary charge, sir, I knocked on the door. She opened the door and let me in. So how could I break in something if there's no forced entry? I knocked on the door, she let me in. I got my belongings and then I left. And then it was a few days later and there was a warrant issued for my arrest. I turned myself in. I wasn't evading, hiding, because I didn't break it in anyone's house. And I can't be stalking anyone, Your Honor, when the person continuously calls me. And I got all the text messages and I got all the phone calls in my phone when the person called me all night long.
All right, sir. I just have the warrants in front of me, and
Yes.
You have a preliminary hearing that's scheduled for the 19th of April. You have a bond hearing date that's scheduled for the 23rd of April. I'm appointing an attorney to represent you. Everything you just told me, none of which I can do anything about today. You need to tell your attorney. That attorney, sir, will be able to assist you, and everything that you have told me can be done, or action can be taken on those things by your attorney. Sir, you understand everything I mentioned to you?
Yes, sir.
All right. You have any other questions?
No, sir.
All right. Thank you, sir. Good luck to you.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
How you doing, sir? Are you, what's your name?
Jonathan.
What's your name, sir?
My name is Jonathan Marquis.
It's not on there, but we have Jonathan Thomas. Do we have Jonathan Thomas here? So this should be your Jonathan Thomas. Is this the name you go by?
No,
Okay.
I'm on there. I'm on there, but that's what they put me under, as Jonathan Thomas. So.
All right, sir.
Let me see the LE number.
Let me just make sure.
5763. 5763.
Yeah, we'll come back to him. Come back to him. Let's do Reagan Mcfarland. Reginald McFarland.
Good afternoon.
It's the same LE number.
How you doing, sir? Good afternoon to you.
I'm good. How you doing, sir?
Doing good. All right, sir. Your name is Reginald McFarland?
Yes.
You charge with 1 count of no insurance misdemeanor. So 1,000 is the bond. Driving on suspended registrations, 500 is the bond there. Possession of less than an ounce of marijuana, misdemeanor kinds, 1,500. And possession of a drug-related objects, 500. Sir, you understand what you're charged with in the bond amounts?
Yes, sir.
All right, sir, you have a preliminary hearing date in the schedule for the 20th of April at 8:30. I'm looking at your application here for court-appointed counsel, sir. I'm appointing an attorney to represent you. All right, sir, you have any questions?
No, sir.
Okay. All right, good luck to you. All right, I want to, deputies, I just want to make sure here. This Jonathan, is it Jonathan Marquis? Who was the person that was just up?
Well, they got him under Jonathan Thomas, Your Honor. Is the same LE number. but the name on his tag is different. So on the list it's showing Jonathan Thomas with the same LE number that he has, but with a different name.
All right, so I just want to pull that. I want to make sure we got the right person. So is Jonathan Thomas?
Yes, with LE number 2175763.
Get his stack here.
Yes, that particular
Okay,
person.
so is Jonathan Beanie Marquis or Jonathan Thomas?
Jonathan Beanie Marquis, possession of marijuana and a scale.
And the license, no license?
Yes, Your Honor.
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, all right, we could do them. I just want to make sure because I just want to make sure it's the right person. So the LE number is 2175763.
Correct, Your Honor.
Okay, all right, yeah, I'm ready for him then. We can do him. All right, sir, thanks for your patience. Just wanted to clarify we got the right person here, sir. So you are in fact Jonathan Beanie Marquis or Jonathan Beanie Thomas?
Jonathan Benny Marquise.
Jonathan Benny Marquis.
Yes.
Where's the Thomas coming from?
When I got incarcerated, they wouldn't let me talk. So I told them exactly, you know what I'm saying? I could have showed them my ID. They didn't, the ID, I couldn't show them the ID. Basically, I got locked up, sir.
Okay. All right, sir. So I'm just making a note here. So that the other judges going forward will be able to know that Marquis is your last name here. All right, sir. One count of possession of marijuana less than an ounce, misdemeanor kind. 1,500 is your bond. Possession of a drug-related object, 500 is your bond. And no license, misdemeanor, 1,000 bond. Sir, you understand what you're charged with in the bond amount?
Yes, sir.
All right, so the 20th of April at 8:30, prelim date. And sir, I'm looking at your application here for court-appointed counsel. How much do you make each month?
I'm gonna need a court-appointed lawyer because I've been working for a landscaping company. So with the weather, it's been on and off.
Sir, what was my question to you?
He said, how much? We just say 1,500 a month.
Okay. All right, I will appoint an attorney to represent you. All right, and you have any questions?
No, sir. Thank you. Appreciate you.
Thank you.
All right.
Good afternoon, sir.
All right, good afternoon, sir. What's your name?
Leandre William Redding, I'm sorry.
Right. A second. Rob Morgan? You that person already?
Mr. Morgan?
Yeah.
No, Your Honor. Mr. Morgan.
Morgan, did we do Morgan?
He's in medical, Your Honor. Morgan?
Medical? Is that tomorrow?
Morgan is here.
We're gonna do Morgan tomorrow?
No, Your Honor, just give me 1 second. He's here in the room. Yes, Your Honor, he's here.
All right, did he do Mr. Morgan, did you do an application for court-appointed counsel?
No, sir.
You did that sheet, you not here at your time.
Oh, that was okay.
They sent it delayed, Your Honor, because we had to get them from medical, but they sent it delayed over there.
Okay. Do you know who sent it and when they sent it?
Probably about 15, 20 minutes ago. I go up there and double check again.
Okay. Hang on for me one moment, Mr. Morgan. All right. I have it here. All right, Mr. Morgan. So I have the application for court-appointed counsel here in my email. So, sir, you're charged with one count of aggravated assault felony. 20,000 is your bond on that offense. One count of battery, misdemeanor, family violence. 5,000 is the bond there, sir. And one count of simple battery, family violence, 3,500. Sir, you understand what you're charged with in the bond amounts?
Oh, man. Yeah, I'll calculate it later.
Right. And there's special conditions, no contact with Andrea Evans, stay away from 7545 Tower Boulevard in Jonesboro. Sir, you understand the special conditions?
Yes, sir.
All right, if you must go there, sir, you must make an appointment with sheriff, police.
Okay.
All right, you have a preliminary hearing date scheduled for the 19th of April at 8:30.
1930.
All right, sir. And we'll appoint an attorney to represent you.
Okay, thanks a lot.
All right, what's your name?
DeAndre Redding. How's the guy who just heard?
DeAndre Redding?
Yes, sir. DeAndre William Redding.
Okay, 1 second. Deputy, I got 2 questions for you.
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, so Laura Naduka or Naduka, is that person bonded out?
Laura?
Last name is N-N-D-A.
Your Honor, you broke now. I cannot hear you.
Laura Hernandez Nanduka. Second page. Second page, like
Yes, Your
about
Honor.
10 from the top.
Yeah, I believe she was in the female section.
Okay, she was in the female section. Did we do her?
I believe, Your Honor, you had another deputies with the female.
Can you hear me?
Yes, Your Honor, I can hear you.
All right, did we do her?
I'm not sure, Your Honor.
All right, yeah, I don't recall doing her. I don't see a bond order for her. I thought she may have bonded out. So I just wanted to double check.
I will double check that for you.
Okay.
Honor.
All right, so we'll come back to her.
Yes,
All
Your
right.
Okay.
And what about Noel, last name? Noel.
Noel?
N-O-E-L.
Yes, he's here, Your Honor.
All right, I'll do him. I'll do him first, because he's next. How you doing? How you say your first name?
Azion.
Can you say it?
Azion.
Azion. All right, Mr. Noel. You're charged with one count of criminal trespass, misdemeanor. Your bond amount, sir, is 2,500. So you understand what you're charged with in the bond amount?
Yes, sir.
All right. You have a special condition to stay away from Tayante Morrow. All right, you know that person?
Yes, sir.
All right, no contact, absolutely. Directly, indirectly, social media, third party, no contact. All right, preliminary hearing date, 20th of April, 8:30. And I did appoint an attorney to represent you, sir. Do you have any questions?
No, sir.
All right, thank you. Good luck to you.
Thank you.
Good afternoon, Your Honor. My
All
name
right,
is
good afternoon. What's your name?
Kenneth Richardson.
All right, Mr. Richardson. Stand by for me.
All right, Your Honor.
And you guys can start the order this one.
All right, Mr. Richardson, you're charged with 1 count of simple battery, it's a misdemeanor. And 3,500 is the bond. You understand what you're charged with in the bond amount?
Yes, sir.
All right, no contact, absolutely, directly, indirectly, third party with James Jackson.
No problem, sir.
Not returned to 7375 White Castle Drive, Riverdale. Is that your residence or someone else's?
No, that's his aunt's residence, but he doesn't live there, but he just used that the night of that incident. So,
All right, well, don't go back over there until this is resolved.
no problem.
All right, you have a preliminary hearing date scheduled for the 20th of April. All right, and I'm looking at your application for court-appointed counsel and did appoint an attorney to represent you, sir.
No problem.
All right, you have any questions?
No, sir.
All right, thank you. Good luck to you.
Mr. Williams?
All right, Deputy, I'm going to take Redding and then Reed.
This is Mr. William here.
Leandre Redding. Got the middle name. Leandre Redding, sir.
All right, Mr. Redding. How you doing, sir?
I'm good, Your Honor. How you doing?
Good.
Sorry,
All right, so listen, you have 4 counts of theft by taking, right? And those are all felonies.
Yes, sir.
And each of those carry a bond amount of 7,000.
Yes, sir.
You have a preliminary hearing date is scheduled for the 19th of April.
Yes, sir.
And looking at your application here for court-appointed counsel, I will appoint an attorney to represent you.
Yes, sir.
All right, Mr. Redden, you have any questions on anything?
No, sir.
All right, thank you. Good luck to you.
Thank you, sir.
Hi, Mr. Rick.
Good afternoon, my honor.
All right, good afternoon, sir. Are you Mr. Reed?
Yes, sir, I am.
All right, Mr. Reed, I have it's 1 count of battery, it's misdemeanor, family violence, 5,000 is the bond on that, and 1 count of cruelty to children first degree. And that's a misdemeanor also, it's 3,500. Special condition, stay away from Malachi Reed. Who's that person?
He is my son, my honor. I have full custodial rights for him. I've actually, out of DeKalb County, I have full custodial rights for him, sir. So I'm not sure how that's gonna happen, but you guys have to figure that out because I have full guardianship rights to him. The person that he stays with now, currently who has him is his grandmother. It's the same individual. When I went to Texas, we moved to Texas, she called the cops on us. And then she had someone come get us. I had paperwork on him. This was 3 years ago. And then here we are 3 years now. I was there one night, last night. Okay. I was there, not last night, what's today? Today, Tuesday? Second Tuesday, I was there on, I guess the 28th of, it's a Sunday. Said that one night, the lady's yelling with me, arguing me. I'm helping her with clothes, cleaning, washing dishes. I'm helping her, right? The lady got a lot of stress. Her husband has chemo and cancer. She's really delusional. She has a lot of mental problems. She actually takes medicine. So she is not the appropriate person to have my son. Okay, she antagonized me because I told her that me and my son were going to be moving around, trying to find out where we would like to go. Okay, and the lady was not having it. She called the cops on me. This is the same lady who called the cops on her daughter in reference to her son. This lady is delusional and she's deranged. She has mental issues, and I will be pressing charges on her because of the fraud that she is conducting herself with my son. I have full paperwork. If you can look it up, I have documentation for my son. She antagonized me the second time that she's called the cops on me in reference to my son. The first time had nothing to do with, she didn't know about the paperwork. The second time I have paperwork, she antagonized me, situation happened, and I'm here now.
Okay, sir.
My honor.
So the special conditions, stay away from Malachi Reed and Vicky Thomas. You can't go back to 3378 Yearwood Lane, Rex. Everything that you just told me, I'm appointing an attorney to represent you. When you speak with that attorney,
I object, my honor. I would not like an attorney because.
Hang on for me, sir. I'll let you speak for about 2 minutes. Let me get at least 30 seconds in. You have a preliminary hearing date for April 20th, and I'm appointing the attorney to represent you. That attorney is the person that you need to have this conversation.
I'm sorry, did you get my paperwork?
So you don't put your hands behind your back. I said put your hands behind
Deputy,
your back.
can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you. My honor.
Yes, Your Honor, we can hear you.
Okay. All right, Mr. Reed, that would conclude your matter for today.
I didn't hear the charge, like the breakdown of the charge. You said, do we understand? I don't understand the charges, my honor, because I don't even know what they.
All right, yeah, so it's battery. That's the first thing I said to you.
Yes, sir.
5,000.
Yes, sir. I understand
The children first degree, 3,500.
Right, I got the charges, but I don't understand, like, how you broke down when someone asked you said, do you understand? I don't understand. I understand the charges that you are putting on the estate, but do you?
Well, hang on for me, sir. I'm not putting anything, okay? I wasn't there. A police officer by the name of Kilgore with the Clayton County Police on March 1st, 2021, encountered you and learned that you did commit the offense of battery, family violence when the officer intentionally caused substantial harm. When the offender, you intentionally caused substantial harm or visible bodily harm to Malachi Reed. Offender then struck Malachi Reed in the face and jumped on.
I did not, that's a lot.
Can you be quiet for me, sir?
Absolutely.
Okay, you asked me, I'm telling you, and you're cutting me off. So it's not gonna work. It's not gonna work out.
You're absolutely right. You did say I did.
Who was in the verbal argument or involved? Did commit the offense of cruelty to children, family violence when the offender maliciously caused pain to a child under the age of 18, Malachi Reed, which was cruel, physical, or mental pain. The offender had struck Malachi and jumped on him during an argument with Vicky Thomas. Following charges occurred in Clayton County.
So do I have to bond, Your Honor? My honor?
All right, you can go on back. I told you this will be the third time. It's 5,000, it's 3,500.
Thank you, my honor.
Thank you.
Yes, sir.
All right, what's your name, sir?
Christopher Vernon Russell.
Right. Mr. Russell, you're charged with one count of criminal trespass, misdemeanor is 2,500, and one count of obstructing an officer is 1,000. It's misdemeanor on that. Special conditions, no contact with Amber Cooper, and not to return to 6092 Mount Zion Boulevard. Go ahead.
Okay. In order for me to be charged with criminal trespassing, that means that I was not wanted there, correct?
Well, let me ask you this, sir. When I went through my opening, I told you the reasons that you would be here. I'm not here to break down the charge for you in terms of what needs to happen and not happen. I'm here to inform you of your charge, your bond amount, the court date, whether you get an attorney. We're not here for a trial or the preliminary hearing, which is your prelim date, which is the next court date that I'll give you.
But to charge me with criminal trespassing, that means I had to be unwanted there.
Well, let me read it.
Mail that goes to that address.
Let me hear it for you, sir. You're talking to me. You don't have to talk to anyone else. They're not interested. It's me and you now. So here we go, sir. On March 1st, 2021, Officer Covington, Clayton County Police, did encounter you at 6092 Mount Zion Boulevard, and learned that you did intentionally damage a bedroom door frame, the property of the offender's live-in girlfriend, Amber Cooper. After a verbal argument between the two, the offender ran away from law enforcement officers after being told to stop. And so those are the charges, sir.
That's what it is. But they encountered me on Mount Zion Boulevard. I wasn't even at that address when they encountered me. So just go on and do what you're gonna do. I'm just mad, man, because it's bull crap.
You done with it, Your Honor?
Let me ask you this, sir. let me ask you this.
I want to talk to you, Your Honor.
Okay, I was just gonna say.
Sorry, I'm sorry, sir.
I was getting
I'm
mad
sorry.
at me helping you.
I'm just, because it's some
Not
bull.
helping you.
No, you're right, sir.
I mean,
I didn't do what they say I do, Your Honor.
hang on for me, Mr. Russell. First of all, I wasn't there. Second of all, I'm just trying to inform you,
Yes,
and
sir.
I'm going to appoint an attorney to represent
Thank
you.
you, sir.
And
I'm sorry. I apologize.
that you're saying, well, thank you. But everything that you're saying, I need you to tell your lawyer, and maybe your lawyer can do something about it to change it.
Yes, sir. Thank
All
you.
right. So the 20th of April is your prelim date, but once you speak with your lawyer, that person may be able to do something quicker than that date.
Yes, sir. Thank you, Your
All
Honor.
right. So, you have any questions for me?
I don't see, no, sir.
Okay. All right. Good luck to you.
How you doing today, sir?
How you doing? What's your name, sir?
Hey, my name is Justin Sanders.
Hang on for me.
Yes, sir.
Hang on. Let me ask the deputy here. Deputy, is Mr. Richardson, is he gone? And Roman?
Mr. Richardson and Mr. Roman.
Roman, I think we got Roman already. Richardson, what's going on with Richardson?
Where's Richardson at?
Kenneth Richardson. We did Kenneth Richardson already?
Yes, Your Honor, we did.
Okay, so we did Kenneth Richardson and we did Miss Roman already. All right. And we just did, I'm just trying to make sure we didn't miss anyone. And we just did Mr. Russell.
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, so now this is, what's your name, sir?
My name is Justin Sanders.
All right, Mr. Sanders, I just want to make sure I'm not missing anybody, okay?
Yes, sir.
Thanks for your patience there. All right, Mr. Sanders, you're charged with 1 count of possession of marijuana, less than an ounce. It's the misdemeanor kind. $1,500 is your bond. You're charged with driving while license suspended is $1,500 bond, and possession or use of a drug-related objects, $500 is that bond. So you understand what you're charged with in the bond amounts?
Yes, sir, I do.
All right, and you have a prelim date of April 20th, 8:30. I reviewed the application for court-appointed counsel. I'm appointing an attorney to represent you, sir. All right, you have any questions?
No, sir. Have a great day.
All right, thank you too.
How you doing today, sir?
How you doing?
Okay.
Are you
Xavier Stevens.
yeah. What's your name?
Xavier Stevens.
All right, Mr. Stevens, you're charged with 1 count of identity fraud, 1 count of criminal receipt of services, and 2 counts of participation in gang activity. Sir, today at this time, you do not get a bond on those offenses. So you understand what you're charged with and the position on bond?
Yes, sir.
All right. You have a preliminary hearing date scheduled for the 19th of April. It's at 8:30. And sir, you have a bond hearing date of the 23rd of April, also at 8:30. I'm looking here, trying to get your application for court-appointed counsel. Sir, I'm appointing an attorney to represent you. All right. Once you speak with the attorney, you may be able to discuss and find out about bond. And you have any questions?
No, sir.
All right. Thank you, sir. Good luck to you, Mr. Stevens.
Mr. Wilson.
How you doing, sir?
All right. How you doing, sir? Mr. Your name?
Bobby Stewart.
All right, Mr. Stewart. Charged with 1 count of theft by taking a motor vehicle, the felony kind. Sir, there's a $10,000 bond on that offense. Sir, you understand what you're charged with in the bond amount?
So it kind of faded out on me a little bit. I didn't mean to use my hand. I didn't hear what you said on the end.
10,000 is your bond.
Okay.
On theft by taking. All right, you have a preliminary hearing is scheduled for the 19th of April at 8:30. I'm looking at your application for court-appointed counsel, and I saw you put some stuff on the here about signing under duress. Is that what's happening?
Yes, sir.
All right, you want an attorney or not?
Yes, sir.
All right. So I am appointing an attorney to represent you. Sir, what's the duress? What do you mean by that?
The duress. You should know what this is, sir. I don't know. I had somebody kind of help me fill it out a little bit, sir.
Okay. Well, that person put some information on here that's saying that. I'm gonna put a note on here that Mr. Stewart had someone help him complete this and did not put this himself.
Thank you, sir.
Is that correct?
Yes, sir.
All right. You have any questions?
No, sir.
All right. Thank you, sir. Good luck to you.
Thank you, sir.
All right. Moment here for me. I'm sorry, Deputy. I got one quick question for you.
Yes, Your Honor.
All right. Makila Stokes, is that person bonded out? Stokes is the last name. Stokes.
I believe she wasn't a female, is what it's showing here.
Yeah, but did we see her though?
Yeah, I'm not sure, Your Honor.
All right, so we'll come back to her as well.
Yes, Your Honor.
I don't have any notes that we saw her. All right, so who's the next person?
Jamarcus Williams.
Jamarcus Williams.
Yes,
All right,
sir.
Mr. Williams, you're charged with one count of battery and battery family violence, misdemeanor. It's a $5,000 bond. Special conditions, stay away from Jeremiah Williams. Not return to 3384 Mount Zion Road.
You said Jeremiah Williams?
You know that person?
I'm Jamarcus Williams. I don't know Jeremiah Williams.
Hang on for me. I'm sorry. Taraz Clark. I had the wrong name down. Taraz Clark. Do you know who that is?
Yes, sir.
All right. No contact.
Okay.
Not return to that address. If you need to go back, you need to make an appointment.
So that's even if the apartment is in my name and I'm on the lease. I'm the leaseholder.
Is that person living there?
Well, I'm the primary leaseholder. He's not on the lease.
Is he living there?
I mean, it's like from time to time. But I stay there. I stay there like all the time. I mean, it's my apartment. It was someone
All
I can stay with me for temporary.
Is that person living there?
No, sir. It's from time to time.
All right. So the special condition is to stay away from Taraz Clark.
Yes, sir.
All right. And you understand the charge, the bond amount, and the position on bond.
Yes, sir.
Special condition. All right. April 20th at 8:30. Application for court-appointed counsel here are reviewed. I'm appointing an attorney to represent you, sir.
All right, thank you.
All right, thank you. You have any questions?
No, sir.
Questions, all right. All right, Deputy, before we go, Zachary Thompson, did we see that person?
I believe they've been telling me he's been out.
He's out the bond, okay.
Yes, Your Honor. We just got an updated list on that, and they informed me hours ago that he's been bonded.
Zachary Thompson is out the bond, and what about Adolph Weston?
Yeah, so I have two medicals. I have one more to go, and then we can deal with the two medicals that I have.
Okay, so Adolph is in medical?
No, I'm right here. He's right here, Your Honor. We got him
All right,
out.
let me do him.
All right, step for me. You what? You can.
How you doing, Your Honor?
Hey, how you doing, sir?
Not too good. First of all, I want to ask, could I waive my preliminary hearing?
Yes, sir, you can waive it.
I've been in this situation plenty of times.
Hang on for me.
Yes, sir.
Let me go first.
Yes, sir.
All right, the first thing I'm gonna do is waive your preliminary hearing here. But first, let me let you know what you're charged with. Charged with criminal trespass, misdemeanors. 2,500 is your bond, and then you're charged with possession of a drug-related object, and that is 500 is your bond. All right, you understand what you're charged with in the bond amounts?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, so I'm waiving your preliminary hearing. All right.
Yes, sir.
And also, sir, special conditions on your bond. You're not to return to the Family Dollar Store, 7132 Terra Boulevard,
Yes, sir.
Jonesboro.
I wanted to let you know I'm on probation also.
Come on for me, sir. You understand what I'm saying to you, sir?
Yes, sir.
All right.
Yes, Your Honor.
You understand the special condition?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right. And you have a application here for court-appointed counsel that I reviewed. And actually, I'm just making sure here, you do qualify for a court-appointed attorney. All right. All right, go ahead and tell me all the things you want to tell me, sir.
Oh, well, just not really much. It's just, I want to let you know I'm on probation. I haven't been going to probation because I have a wife by the name of Judy Jean Julie, and she's an older woman. And I've been just going by the rules of the Bible, cleaving to my wife and trying to stay out of trouble. And the reason I went to the Family Dollar was just to get my wife something to eat. I actually gave one of the workers that was driving up, try to give the money to them to go into the store for me. But I really didn't try to do anything wrong. And my wife was right next door. But I'm on probation. That's the main thing I wanted to let you guys know. And I've just been trying to cleave to my wife. That's why I haven't been really going to reporting and pretty much that's what's going on. I just wanted to alert my probation officer as soon as possible. And I appreciate what you did for me. You know, I really understand. I've been to this jail a lot of times. I've been in situations a lot of times. My judge is Judge Mack, which I thank God for. I know you're not going to probably be my primary judge, because Judge Mack is the judge that I'm on probation with. And I just want to just thank you and let you know I appreciate everything that you said so far. I know that you did the best you can. You did everything good, everything great, and I just want to thank you and let you know I appreciate everything that you said so far. Could you wait?
Thank you, sir. It's Judge Knights, okay? Knights.
Judge Knights.
All right. Thank you, sir.
All right.
You have a good day.
You too.
Thank you.
We have.
All right. We did Wilson. She's female. We just did Mr. Weston there, and I just want to make sure that we didn't miss.
We have two more, Your Honor.
More? Okay.
What's your name?
Kenneth Ray.
Kenneth Ray. All right, Mr. Kenneth Ray.
Good day, Your Honor.
Good day. Good afternoon. How you doing?
Yes, my name is Kenneth Ray, W-R-A-Y.
All right, Mr. Ray. You're charged with one count of simple assault, misdemeanor. It's a $3,500 bond. And sir, you have Special conditions on that bond, no contact with Caretha Hutchinson, and stay away from the 4304 South Lake Cove Court in Jonesboro. Sir, you understand what the charge with the bond amount and the special conditions?
Oh, yes, sir. You said $3,500 bond, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
And sir, did you complete an application for court-appointed counsel?
No, I did not.
All right.
Oh, yes, I did.
You did.
I did the application they had me fill out when I first came in. I don't know what.
It was one of the last one, Your Honor. The last two, he was one of the last two that we sent over. You should have
Sent to me? It was just sent to me?
About 20 minutes ago, same as the other gentleman.
20 minutes ago. Hang on.
Yes, sir.
All right, I don't see it. I don't have that one. Let's see here. Ray. Okay. All right, one. Yeah, I got it.
Okay, thank you.
I got that one. Okay. So let me just make sure here. Okay. Ray. Mr. Ray.
Yes, sir.
Okay, all right. So we'll appoint an attorney to represent you here.
All right, thank you.
And yeah, deputy, it was in the same email. Yeah, it was in the same email. It was in the same email that I got from the last one. All right, Mr. Ray. So I'm appointing an attorney to represent you, and you have a preliminary hearing date of the 20th of April.
All right.
All right. You have any questions?
Yes, sir.
All right. Thank you.
Okay,
Good luck.
Oh, Your Honor, we have one more. Last one is medical as well.
One more.
Yes.
All right. Is this Jackson?
Mr. Jackson?
Yes, sir. How you doing?
Jackson, how you doing, sir? All right. I have here one count of obstructing an officer, it's a misdemeanor, and one count of seatbelt violation. So 1,000 is the bond on the misdemeanor obstruction. And 500 is the bond on the seatbelt violation. You understand what you're charged with, sir, and the bond amounts?
Yes, sir.
All right. I looked at your application here for court-appointed counsel, and I am appointing. Well, no, I'm sorry. You didn't put how much you make. How much do you make?
I do construction, so I make I work under the table, probably $1,500 a month. So.
All right, sir. So I'm appointing an attorney to represent you.
All right, thank you, sir.
All right, thank you. And you have any questions?
No, sir.
All right, thank you. Good luck to you, sir.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Yes, Your Honor. So pretty much that's all what we have for today.
Yeah, before you go, I just want to make sure here, Deputy. I just want to make sure. So we're Adriana Gibson is going to be continued for tomorrow, right?
Yes, correct.
Okay. All right.
Because she's in the quarantine, I believe, or medical escalation.
All right. And 1 second here for me. It's like 2 more people I just got a question on. Okay. And Laura Ndunka, you said is bonded out or no?
I'm not sure, Your Honor, but I believe she's in the female side.
Okay. Can you radio somebody on that side?
Yeah, can you check it?
Or find out? Because I guess once I log off, I just want to make sure which ones to be.
SR87, Deputy Cox.
Laura Hernandez Nduka on the second page, like 10th.
Yes, Your Honor.
All right.
10-4. Did you give me a 13?
Let's put on for tomorrow. All right. And then the last person is what is this? Stokes. Michaela Stokes.
Yeah, I believe she was also on the female side.
Oh, females. So I'm gonna sign off, and those two will be on for tomorrow if they weren't on today.
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay. All right. Thank you very much.
I tried my best to make it easy, Your Honor. It just, I'm still on training and I'm doing my best to get them in order, but sometimes, you know, they move around and I just lose counting it. But I apologize if I make it a little difficult today.
No, you're doing a good job. I remember last week, so you were like fresh in, right? So I know you're doing a great job, all right? So don't worry about it.
Thank you,
We
Your
all
Honor.
got some delays today, so it's all right. They'll be on tomorrow if they weren't on today.
Yes, Your Honor. Any other question for me, sir?